We have only 28,000 days to live. Make yours count. There's one thing common between us all. It is the number 28,000. What does this number signify? The average person will live for 28,000 days, which equals to 76.71 years. What will we do with our 28,000 days? Assuming the 76.71 years to be approximately 80 years, we can explain this best with reference to the cycle of life. We can see from the cycle of life the different stages of life from birth to death. A child is born, grows into an adolescent, works, leaves the nest, starts his or her own family, grows and starts slowly, gradually slowing down. Let's divide the circle into 4 quarters. Each quarter represents 20 years of our life. Let's begin with stage 1, 0 to 20 years. That is the first 7,000 days of our life. We are born. Our birth brings joy and happiness into the family. We grow from infancy, childhood, teenager to an adult. We do what every other child does, that is, be a kid, play, study. The first stage in life focuses on our education and we take in all the fundamentals of life. During these first 7,000 days of our life, we don't contribute financially to the family. The next stage begins when we prioritize our personal values above the expectations of others and start acting independently. Stage 2, 20 to 40 years, that is next 7,000 days of our life, which now totals 14,000 days of our life. It is the beginning of the adult life, the financially independent individual stage of our life. This stage begins with the burden of student loan. As we progress in life, we experience milestones such as getting a job, paying off loans, starting a family, buying a home and a car. The focus now lies on the growth of our career and development of our young family. In the first stage, even though we earn nothing, in the second stage, we have the additional expense of a child from birth, education, wedding, till he or she is ready to leave home. This is an additional expense on top of our usual daily expenses. The second stage plays a significant role in our adult life. I'll explain this as we progress through my presentations. Stage 3, 40 to 60 years. Now 14,000 days have gone and we have the next 7,000 days to live, which totals 21,000 days. A major turning point during stage 3 arrives once the children begin to leave the nest. We move up the corporate ladder or turn into an entrepreneur. We are in a better position financially. We probably go for a second car or a second home as an investment. Stage 3 comes to its natural conclusion once our vision is realized. We gradually start feeling old, worn out, and come to the realization that we have accomplished everything we could accomplish in our life. This stage of life is centered around the creation of our legacy, and we are left with 20 years of active working life. But we develop the following 4 fears during this stage. What if we cannot work to 60 years of age? What if we don't reach the age of 60 years? How much is enough to retire? Can we ensure that our children will begin their lives with a good foundation? Stage 4, 60 to 80 years, 21,000 days gone of our life. We are left with the final 7,000 days, which totals 28,000 days. Now we enter into the next to last stage of our life. We embark on our retirement journey, fulfilling the plans and promises we made to our spouse, enjoying a relaxed life with no time constraints. The last stage in our life is well deserved. We have worked hard for all our life, accomplished great things, and ensured the continuance of our family and mankind. Stage 4 marks the time when we actively seek to give younger generations helpful advice to take along. This stage prepares the next generation to carry on our legacy. During the 4 stages of life, we earned, invested, and saved. From a psychological perspective, the last stage helps us to accept the fact of our own mortality. It allows us to leave a lasting legacy even after we are long gone. We discussed 28,000 days of our life. So we divide the 28,000 into 2 parts. First is no income and second is income. No income stage is 14,000 days. That is 0 to 20 years and 60 to 80 years. During this stage, as children, we use up our parents' money, or as retired individuals, we use up whatever we have saved, invested to maintain the life we dreamt of. And income stage is the balance 14,000 days, that is 20 to 40 years and 40 to 60 years. We earn, invest, save for ourselves and our children and maintain a lifestyle. Well, that's what we thought. Are we forgetting something here? Now, stage 5, 80 to 100 years, the next 7,300 days, which totals 35,300 days. Globally, life expectancy has been consistently rising over time in both rich and poor nations. The whole world is riding the escalator. Life expectancy in India was 25.4 years in the year 1800, and over the course of next 223 years it has increased to almost 70. And United Nations demographic forecasters estimate that this should increase at the rate of around 2 years every decade. India may have started with a lower life expectancy, but it is rising rapidly. The projection is that a 20-year-old today, he or she will be adding 21 years to his or her life. That will be 91 years. But this is just the average. Many are going to live longer than average. Boon of life or longevity. Longevity risk in retirement planning. As we can see from the image, the average life expectancy is 85 years for a 65-year-old male, 88 years for a 65-year-old female, 50% chance one of a 65-year-old couple to reach 92 years. The problem is this is just the average. 50% live longer than average. Bottom line, most married couples should plan for one of the two to live well into their 90s. As life expectancy continues to increase, our financial planning needs to consider the possibility of a longer lifespan. More and more people will be gifted with the boon of life or longevity. We are all going to get infected with longevity to different degrees. With each passing year, the newly born lives about 3 months longer than those born the year before. What if we live till 100? This means either both or our spouse. We most definitely need to speculate for longevity in our financial plan. As the time progresses, more and more people will be shifting from 40 years employment, that is 20 to 60 years, and 20 plus years long retirement, that is 60 to 80 plus years, to 40 years employment, that is 20 to 60 years, and 40 plus years long retirement, that is 60 to 100 plus years. In reality, we earn income for around 40 years of our working life, but need to save to be able to afford a life which is more than 100 years and beyond. When we consider earning for our children, their education, for our own retirement, and the legacy or inheritance we plan to leave behind for our children from the start of our earning journey. The two key aspects of financial planning are longevity and inflation. Do something today that your future self will thank you for before it's too late. And as quoted by Colin Powell, don't just count your days, make your days count. How many days do we have left? Make every day count. May the force of long life be with you. Please go through the description for the sources for this presentation. I have shared the link to my next presentation. Are we prepared for the irreversible risk of longevity on our careers, savings, family, and retirement at the end of this presentation? And do not forget to check out the playlist for more presentations. If there is something to gain and nothing to lose by asking, by all means ask. Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation. I sincerely appreciate it. Namaste.